Welcome to Come Knit With Me. What we're doing today is a no-roll slipped salvage. And this is for the manual single bed knitting machine. Now this is not my own technique. This is Brenda Bell's, that she's given me permission to film this. And if you want to check her website out, it is knitfits.theotherbell.com. She's got it written down on how to do this. And basically, you need your main yarn, cast on the amount of stitches you want to use. Then you need 2 pieces of yarn, 8 times the length of the work that you want to do. Now I'm just doing a little piece, and she recommends if you're doing like an afghan to wrap it on cardboard like this. This is foam board, which I like better, and this is cardboard, which is okay. So you cast on your stitches, and then what her website says, you hang your weights and knit a row. Okay, so let's get the row knitted. And I've only cast on, I think, 20 stitches. Just a little short thing. Okay, make sure all my latches are open. Oh, there's one. So I knit my first row. Okay, so that row is knitted. Then I'm going to pull the edge needles on the carriage side to hold position. Okay, then I'm going to pull the second needle from the edge opposite the carriage to hold position. So that'll be the second needle, so that's that needle. Alright, and it says to knit the row. Okay, so I got the row knitted. And then it says, proceed, for each of the remaining rows, proceeds as follows. Using one of the extra lengths of yarn, and I'm using contrasting yarn, but you'll want to use the same color. I'm using contrast so you can see it, obviously. You wrap the end needle opposite the carriage and manually, opposite the carriage, passing the yarn over the needle toward the carriage. Manually knit the end needle. So that is this one, towards the carriage, and manually knit it. Now remember, this is normally the main color yarn. Okay. And then pull the second needle to hold position. So that'll be that one. Use the other extra length to wrap the second needle from the edge of the carriage again. The yarn passes over the needle towards the carriage. So it's going to kind of go in the direction that the carriage went in. Okay, so it's over here. Now this is a different weight yarn, so it's going to probably look a tiny bit different. Okay, manually knit this needle. Okay, and then pull the edge needle to hold position. Okay, and knit the row. Okay, now this one didn't knit, so I'm going to manually knit it. And this one, that's because I didn't put any weights on it. Go ahead and put your clothespins down on it. That's what I forgot to get. Okay. And then pull the edge needle to hold position, which I did that. Okay. Wait a minute, what did I do wrong? Okay. Pull the edge needle to hold position. pull the edges, needle to hold position, and after knitting the row, in this case from right to left, the hold position needles contain a float, and the manual knit needles contain stitches with the main yarn. Yep. Now knit the extra yarn positions the needles. Okay, and going in the direction of the carriage. So we knit this one and put this one in hold position. Knit this one and put this in hold position. Okay, continue wrapping and moving needles on every row. On the last row, wrap and knit the needles that are already in hold position, but do not pull any new needles to hold. This will give you a full row of stitches right before you bind off. Okay, so I'm going to do a few rows like this. So it's knit the row, and this one for some reason, and again that's because I don't have any weights on it. Okay. Okay, so we manually knit this one and bring the second one out to hold position. Manually knit this one and bring the first one out to hold position and knit the row. Okay, manually knit going towards the carriage. First one out in hold position. Now this one didn't knit, so just go ahead and knit this one. Manually knit this one and put this one in hold position and knit the row. And again, that's because I don't have any weights on it. Okay, so going in the direction of the carriage, knit the row, first needle and hold, knit the row, right, knit the stitch, and second needle and hold position. Okay, that one knitted nicely. Going towards the carriage, knit the first needle, second needle and hold. Knit the second needle, first needle and hold. Need a little bit of extra weight. Oh, I have a few drop stitches. No biggie, just rehang them. And then restitch the stitches manually. And going in the direction of the carriage, second needle in hold position. Have you noticed a pattern here happening? And hold position and knit the row. Oops, I lifted it up in the carriage. No biggie. Since I'm almost to the end, I'll just knit these manually. Okay, so on the needles that are closest to the carriage, you knit going towards the carriage and bring the first needle out. On the needles furthest from the carriage, knit the first needle going towards the carriage and bring the second needle in out. That sounds weird. Knit the row. Okay. On the needle furthest from the carriage, yarn over the needle, over the first needle, knit that stitch, bring the second needle out. On the needle closest to the machine, carriage rather, yarn over, going towards the carriage, knit that stitch, first needle out, and knit. I dropped a stitch. Well, actually I didn't drop the stitch, I split the stitch. So I'm going to rehang that stitch, re-knit the stitch. Now if you're doing this and you are using a contrast, the same color, make sure you grab the right stitch. Okay. And this one I got a couple to stitch out. And just re-stitch the stitches. Okay, going towards the carriage, knit that stitch, next in forward hold, knit that stitch, forward hold closest to the carriage, and knit that row. As you can see, I don't have very many yarns left to knit, so that should be work fine. And second stitch out because it's furthest from the carriage, and first stitch out because it's closest to the carriage. Going towards the carriage and out. Whoops, that one didn't stitch, so we're going to stitch that one. Going towards the carriage and out, and knit. Now I hold the yarn down solid when I release the yarn because sometimes it pulls up on that stitch. Okay, knit the stitch, second stitch out, knit the second stitch, first stitch out. And I'm going to do one more row. Oh, because I don't have any more yarn, or maybe two more rows, because I don't have very much yarn left. I just took a sample. First stitch knitted, second stitch out, second stitch knitted, first stitch out. Okay, first stitch knitted, second stitch out, second stitch knitted, first stitch out. Okay, now what it says is on the last row, which is what this is going to be, wrap and knit the needles that are already in hold position, but do not pull any new needles to hold position. Okay, so this one, I should not have put these into hold position. So put these back, because this is going to be my last row. Okay, and then knit the row, and then bind off. Which I'm going to do a quick bind off because this is just a sample, okay? Actually, I'm not, let's see. Where's my tool? There it is. So I'm just going to do a quick bind off. And I think I'm just going to do a simple crochet bind off. And this one is just, like I said, it's going to be a real simple bind off. I'm going to go ahead and take my weights off right now because I can see bad stuff happening, especially since I like to knit barefooted. Okay, and this is just a quick bind off. It's not one I would do on a regular basis. At least I don't think so. I think it'd be awful tight. If you wanted it, if you needed a tight bind off for some reason, it might work, but this is just a swatch, so I'm just doing a quickie. And this is tight, it's not going to be an elastic. I don't expect it to be anyway. Okay. Then snip this, which I'm always putting my yarn down somewhere and never remembering where my needle rather. So I'm just gonna do a chintzy. Just gonna open the loop up, send my yarn through. Now, as you can see, I've just taken this off the machine. Okay. And don't pay attention to the bind off, obviously. And this is unknitted, and I wanted to show you the edges. Neither one of them have been pressed. Now this, if I had done a regular bind off, that would be a whole lot better. But that's just a tight bind off, real tight bind off. Okay. But that is cool. And that is the difference between the two. Okay. And look at that in this though. Now that is actually pretty. That would be a pretty edge to a blanket. Now had I used the same weight, it would look just like that. Okay. Oh, I must have split the stitch there. Alright. Well, have fun with it. And make sure you check out her website.